around, there's some people who needed that. Okay. A couple of other housekeeping things. You guys had some folders. So in this folder, there is an evaluation sheet. And we would greatly appreciate it if before you leave, because I always forget to tell people this, fill that out, you leave it on the table, and we'll pick them up. But we do appreciate the feedback if there's anything that you want to see or any kind of comments you want to make to us.
Went very fast.
Well, what we're going to do for the rest of the day is Cindy told you that they're going to give you homework. Claudia's going to give you homework. Kent and Carl's going to give you homework. We're going to give you homework. We are all of these teach you to fish school of thought. Okay, so be prepared, because this is your business. We'll guide you, we'll help you, we'll respond to you, we'll give you feedback, we'll have resources, but it's your business, so ultimately you own it, you're responsible for it. And what we want to do with the rest of our time, if I can get our Prezi to work here, is give you a starting place and give you a better way to think about your business initially. Okay? So, how many people here have ever put a jigsaw puzzle together? Great, okay. You're at Thanksgiving, it's in between the turkey-induced naps and the football games, and we're not having our beautiful 70-degree blue sky weather. This might be an activity that you and your family do together, okay? So I want to ask anybody here, how would you start to put a jigsaw puzzle together?
Start at the corners.
Start at the corners. Just the corners?
Edges.
All the edges. Great.
I just match colors.
And what do you do when you get that little framework built?
Get on the lake.
Start from the outside, go work your way in.
Okay, that's interesting. Start from the outside and go in. Anybody else approach it differently?
From the center out. Yeah.
Center out. How do you know what the center or the outside is?
That's my issue.
The color.
That's what you do very often.
Well, I heard colors. Anything else? Follow the picture. You got a blueprint.
Like I look at the picture and then look at the colors and try to put the brighter colors depending on, you know,
Okay.
whatever.
So you might work on this and this looks a little different and then kind of squeeze them in. Okay. So think about that. Because what we're going to do today is we're going to give you the framework and we're going to have you go find the pieces that fit your puzzle and put them in place. Because unfortunately when you start your own business, they don't come all neatly packaged in this nice little box for you. You got to figure it out. So this is a good way to sort of vet the business model, which is the precursor to a formal business plan, which a lot of lenders will require of you, like Claudia was saying, before they'll give you any money. This is more for you, so you know how it's working out in your head, in your life, with your customers. So inside of your package, on the right-hand side, if you'll go in here, you will find a folded sheet. It's called the Business Model Canvas. Okay. This is how we're going to start you off. So this is homework for everybody here. It's going to be familiar to some of you guys who have done your MBA or maybe done this before in another exercise. But we've given you a sheet, and you can put this up on a whiteboard if you want and use Post-it notes to kind of come to it. You can write it on here. I have some extras if you want to take one or two. But we're going to have you do that. And then also, if you want more information about how to work this out when we're done, there's a workbook that will kind of take you through these steps. It's also in your package. Thank you. This comes from Alexander Osterwalder wrote this book. Okay, you can get this. It has a lot of ideas about generating your ideas, kind of sorting it out in your head. But this is where all of this information comes from. It's kind of one of the leading business books right now, and thinking about your business differently. Okay?
What was his last name again, if you would please?
Osterwalder. And this is my book, so don't anybody walk off with it, but you can pass that around if you want to, let people take a look at it. Okay, so The first thing we want you to do when you're thinking about your business is, who are you going to serve? Okay? So, some people go into business because they want to serve a special clientele, veterans, diabetics, a particular industry. You might be thinking, I want to sell things to other businesses, and then I can have my 8-to-5 job. Others of you are going to serve consumers. So we're going to come down to real basics, and then refine that as to who you want to serve. And that's going to dictate a lot of the choices then of your business model. And we're not going to go into detail on all of these because you have the workbook. But I kind of want to go a little bit through each of these and kind of make some points about them. Okay. So the value proposition. If you know who you want to serve, what value are you bringing them? This particular quadrant on your canvas trips a lot of people up. It took me a long time to figure out what people meant when they said value proposition. So think about a 7-Eleven versus an H-E-B versus a Whole Foods, okay? If I'm 7-Eleven, what do you think my value proposition is to my consumers who are shopping for food, gas, beverages,
Convenience.
and
Speedy service.
speedy service? You got it. And what do you think my model is if I'm H-E-B?
It's still convenience, but
Selection.
Variety.
varieties, better,
Low price.
Yep.
a little better customer service.
Yeah, you think it's low rates, but maybe not. but yeah, it's a spectrum of things. And what if I'm Whole Foods?
Different quality, just, straight.
Organic,
Yeah.
natural, kind of, vegan stuff,
Yeah.
whatever. Right. So those are very different value propositions that I'm going to bring still my audience. It could be the same person, just at different times in their lives, or looking for a different product at that point. Okay, so the value proposition is, what are you gonna bring and deliver and make available to an audience member that they can't get anywhere else, or they can't get exactly the way you deliver it. Okay? The next thing is your channels. So if you are a restaurant, you're in the retail business. If you're a food manufacturer, you may decide that you don't want to have a storefront. You may want to be a manufacturer only and sell through distributors. You may decide that you only want to be the wholesaler of stuff other people make. Okay? So it's kind of like, how are your customers shopping? Where do they want to find you? Is it on the internet? Is it in a store? And how are you guys going to deliver? Because you may or may not be able to do all of them. You may want to specialize. Okay? So your customer relationship. Think about your bank. Okay? Now, I don't have a great relationship with my bank. I'm new to them because I dumped my old one. They're not a credit union. They're not the kind of relationship I had before. They're not an online bank. I know who my banker is. So what kind of a relationship do you want to have with your consumers and your clients and your customers? Do you want to be the place where they come in and hang out? Do you want to be the speedy, quick, in and out in 3 minutes or less? Do you want them to come to you with questions and in-depth research that they need? Because you can talk to anybody in Whole Foods, and these guys just spew information at you. They know their products that well. So what do you want, and how then are you going to put your business together to support those types of decisions about what you want your relationship to be like? Your revenue streams. So this is where a lot of people kind of get tripped up. Anybody here heard of like a scalable model? What would an example of a scalable business be?
Does that mean stepping up your business, starting small, rather than trying to take the biggest portion you can, start small? Maybe one, like myself, I'm starting to look at